We are live in 3, 2, 1.
I'd like to call the Hillsborough County Mechanical Board of Adjustment Appeals and Examiners to order for August 24th, 2022. And roll call, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess we've got a quorum.
Announce our names for the record.
Okay.
Makes her happy.
I'll call the roll if you'll just say present.
Oh,
Thank you. Mike Charles,
Present.
Elizabeth Broadway,
Present.
Bob Koschel,
present.
Bryant Lyle.
Present.
Thank you.
Do we have any unfinished business on the agenda? Don't think so, because we didn't have any business at the last meeting, so that would pretty much shut that down, right? Okay. New business.
You need an agenda approval?
Okay, can I get an approval of the agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as posted.
I need a second.
Second.
We have a second.
Everybody in favor?
Everybody in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're all in. We've got where are we going with the do we have somebody from the county here? On the violations? Okay.
My name is Rick Finley. I'm a code compliance inspector with Hillsborough County Building Department. Do we need to get sworn in?
Yes, you do. Have him raise his hand.
Please, everybody, please raise their hands. And do you plan on telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Sounds good to me.
All right, good afternoon, board members. Again, my name is Rick Finley. I'm a code compliance inspector with Hillsborough County Building Department. I have two cases to present to you today. The first one being case number HC-CMP-22-00000102. The violator is Marquet Moragne, doing business as Quells Professional Air Conditioning Services LLC, license number CAC 1818723. The address of violation is 11158 Creek Haven Drive, Riverview, Florida 33569. Allegations: Marquet Moragne, doing business as Quells Professional Air Conditioning Services LLC, license number CAC 1818723, has failed to obtain permits for an AC changeout and is in willful and deliberate violation of Section 8-1 Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances, Part A, HCCCO as follows: 105.1, permit required. Recommendations: the citation be affirmed as written, a fine of $500 and recording fee be assessed. The contractor's permitting privileges be suspended for a period of time determined by the board in Hillsborough County, including City of Tampa, City of Plant City, and City of Temple Terrace, and until the property is brought into compliance. And that the Construction and Electrical Industry Licensing Board be notified of the board's actions. For this case, I see that the homeowner is here, but I do not see the contractor up there.
Was this a new installation?
It was, well, it was an old house, but yeah, they reinstalled two AC, yep, a whole change out.
The picture that you have here, this Train XR, the date on it says 2018.
Which picture would that be?
Picture, page 8.
And this install could have been from 2018. I know that the homeowner just got with us when she started having problems with the AC unit, and the contractor wouldn't come out, and he wasn't doing the warranty. So then she called us. She looked into it, found out that it was unpermitted. So then we started a case on it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Do we have the homeowner? Do we have the contractor here? Anybody want to speak on this?
Well, I'm Ruth Marshall, and I'd like to speak on it. I heard the recommendations and for the violations, and I don't know if those are standard recommendations. It's not my desire to see the contractor have his license suspended. I don't know if a fine is indicated or not, but I did. The contractor actually said that he asked me to get the permit, which that conversation never did occur. And so when I found out that it was not permitted, I did call to find out about it. And so this case was started. But I actually asked the contractor to have his secretary get the permit, because when I read all of the little checks that I had to put into place, it appeared that I would be taking total responsibility for the job, which was not the case. But at the same time, it's not my desire really to see him lose his license or any of those type things. I was just hoping that he would just get the permit if that's allowable at this point.
I have a question for the homeowner. Bob Koschel,
Yeah.
is everything in order at your house? In other words, is the unit working correctly? All small details are taken care of? Is everything finished at your home? Yes or no?
Um, to the best of my knowledge, as just a homeowner, I would think um, there were some wires that were left out, and the contractor was made aware of them, and he did not come to correct it. But I had another AC company come and correct the wires exposed. So it appears, in my opinion, that things are working well.
I have a question for staff. Has somebody from mechanical gone out there? So no life safety items remain, correct? We're in compliance that way.
I'm the one that's gone out there. I'm not a mechanical inspector, but I believe they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but because it's unpermitted, we are not allowed to perform an inspection on unpermitted work.
I got it. But she mentioned wiring and that gets my hackles up. I'm concerned that all is well that way.
Correct.
Have we approached the contractor? I mean, has the contractor decided just pull a permit and get it inspected?
He's been back and forth. When I first contacted him, he said he had some kind of deal worked out with the homeowner, that they gave her some kind of a price, and that she was supposed to us, it's the contractor's responsibility, or I let him know that if it was a deal that they had worked out, he shouldn't have performed any work until a permit was issued. So that never happened. So he said under principle, he wanted to come to a board hearing. And then in the last few days, he's contacted Kimber and Jason and tried to attempt to get a permit. We've sent him instructions. He's not registered as a contractor with Hillsborough County. So he's been saying that he's working and can't figure out how to get that done. Regardless, he's had quite a bit of time since the first notice of violation went out. And now he's in the last week tried to attempt to get a permit, but there is still no permit applied for or issued.
Anybody else have any questions? I'm going to make a motion that we uphold a staff recommendation, 500 plus suspension of privileges until he comes into compliance and the permit is pulled and a final inspection is made mechanical on this changeout.
I'll second that. Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm the homeowner, so I can leave now.
Excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is a homeowner, Ms. Marshall. I can leave the meeting now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
My next case, case number HC-CMP-22-0000189. Violator John Thurbon, doing business as Integrity Heat and Air LLC, license number CACA 44874. Address of violation is 2509 Scuttlebutt Loop, Ruskin, Florida 33570. Allegations: John Thurbon, doing business as Integrity Heat and Air LLC, license number CACA 44874, has failed to obtain permits for mechanical trunk line duct changeout outside and underneath of the mobile home, and is in willful and deliberate violation of Section 8-1, Hillsborough County Code of Ordinances, Part A, HCCCO as follows: 105.1 permit required. Recommendations: citation be affirmed as written, a fine of $500 and recording fee be assessed. The contractor's permitting privileges be suspended for a period of time determined by the board in Hillsborough County, including City of Tampa, City of Plant City, City of Temple Terrace, and until this property is brought into compliance. Also, that the Construction and Electrical Industry Licensing Board be notified of the board's actions. Again, for this case, I know that the homeowner is present in person, and I do not see the contractor on. Same kind of deal here. When I first contacted him, he said at first he said that the work that they did didn't require a permit. The work was supposed to be just some repairs, but it ended up being the entire trunk line system underneath the mobile home, which does require a permit. He said because of what he charged the homeowner, he wasn't going to pull a permit. And then in the last couple of weeks, he's tried or contacted us attempting to try to pull a permit. Same deal. He's not registered in Hillsborough County with his contractor's license and says he's having problems doing that. And I believe the homeowner would like to speak on this one.
Okay, come on up.
Hi. I'm
Go ahead and state your name.
Brenda Acker. I live at 2509 Scuttlebutt Loop, Ruskin. I'm just here to say that I paid this company to do a job, and they didn't do it. And I have still not gotten anything done about it, and it's been over a year.
Now, is this
I have no air.
concerning the permit, or is there a deficiency in the work that you're having issues with now? Is your air down?
Yes, it's been down for over a year now.
Really? Whoa, I was out this morning. I wouldn't want that. Other than just doing the duct connectors under the trailer? That's all he did, or did he get into the equipment?
All we know of is a duct underneath the trailer, and there's skirting there. If you can see in the pictures, there's not a lot of access, but I can see that it's been replaced from the inside when I went inside. And then I met an employee out there, and I have his testimony stating that they replaced the entire trunk line. I don't believe they've gotten into the system at all, but the homeowner states that since they started the work or did the work, she hasn't had air since. So without it being permitted and inspected, we don't know what could be the cause.
I kept calling them out. They must have been out like 6 or 8 times. And the last time they kept giving me excuses. It's my floors. the floors guys it's their problem. And I've never had floor guys. I just bought the unit the big unit was only a year and a half when I bought there. So that's why I called the company, because I had a dead animal under there and the smell was coming through the vents. And so I figured I'll just replace everything. And ever since I hired them, I have not been. There was one time where there was a bunch of air flowing, but then my two rooms across was hot, really hot. So he told me to close the doors, and then it got hotter, and then mold started setting in.
Now,
So
you have a bunch of neighbors down there where you live, don't you, in trailers? Who do they use? This guy?
integrity, no, not anymore. I've already put the word out. We took them off the contractor list.
Well, it sounds like you need
And I went to
one of those guys down there that everybody likes.
But so the reason why I haven't had it fixed is because I didn't want integrity to come back and say, oh, well, they're the ones that messed it up.
You're-
Because now they're saying it's all good and it's still not good.
It's not good. Well, you
It's
need
not
somebody
good.
that can,
It's been good. And I
Per-
borrowed this gentleman's
Yeah.
air conditioning to put in my little window, and I live in my living room. So,
what do you think, Bob?
I'd like to make a motion on this. Are we ready for a motion?
I think so. I don't have any other.
I'd like a motion that uphold the staff recommendation and have a 30-day suspension of his contracting privileges in all municipalities listed as a punishment for this. The $500 fine, what your recommendation was, that's after he makes this lady whole, that her air conditioning is operating and that he gets the appropriate inspection for this work.
I'm not sure that we can go that far on the equipment because all they've really done here, they haven't replaced the whole duct system. They replaced,
Second before you can.
we have the whole duct system.
so, well, but what I'm saying is that the work was not done on the equipment. It's just a package unit and we're just dealing with duct work underneath. So are we able to,
What they did
well, we don't.
until they get an inspection.
Well, they're not going to be inspecting the
He'll put
equipment.
down what, on his application for inspection, what work was performed, will he not?
Yeah, they do have to put a description of the work that was performed. And I do understand both sides of what's being said. What we've said is we can't determine that they did or didn't do something wrong until he gets a proper permit and inspection for the work that was completed. Once that's inspected and approved, then we can't say that, he did or didn't do,
Well, inspection wise, that can be all done,
but
but
on
her
the,
air conditioner still doesn't work. That's my concern.
Mike, can I chime in here? David Anthony, Hillsborough County Chief.
Yes, sir.
Question to the homeowner. Does the equipment, the air conditioner itself, turn on and turn off?
It does. The register, it does, but it's like set at 74 and it's 82. It's not.
So the equipment's working. It's probably a duct connection or something, Mike and Bob.
It's very minimal.
But they don't, you haven't gotten any real indication from them that they plan on coming out and helping you unless
No,
the county says you've got to do your job.
no,
Okay.
they're not.
Okay.
You have a motion pending.
We have a motion. We got a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
you got it.
Okay, what was our motion for the allegation? It was guilty.
We affirmed the allegation.
Okay,
Staff recommendation was affirmed,
affirmed.
plus a 30-day suspension after he takes care of this lady.
Okay, and until that 30-day suspension, is his permitting privileges?
In effect, because he's got to be able to have permitting privileges in order to pull the permit for her job.
Correct.
That's why you can't do it now, because he wouldn't be able to pull the permit.
Makes sense.
Oops. jump through the hoops.
We could allow him to pull the one permit, correct?
But just let it go.
Okay.
He's not pulling permits anyway, and we're eager for him to do so.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when the gentleman came out with Mr. Finley that day, he took the box, oh, I'm sorry. When the gentleman came out with Mr. Finley that day and he took the green piece off the big air conditioning, it doesn't leak through that little hose, but he saw that when I turned the air on, that it was frozen up. Are they gonna put the Freon back in when they redo the ductwork? Because here's the thing, sir, I had no problem with the air conditioning at all. I had a problem with the smell coming into my house that I knew that the critter had made a bed in the ductwork. And I had people going under my house and said they couldn't find the critter, but the ductwork's all scratched up. That's the only reason why I had these hoses done. The air conditioner was fine, but that doesn't happen. I mean, it's not working now.
I don't know what your contract is with him. Hopefully you have a written contract. Do you have a written contract?
Yes, sir. I have a contract that says that he was going to do all the lines, the trunk line and the other line.
Okay.
That's all he gave me.
All right.
And I gave it. to him.
What else does it say? Anything? I need you to stand in front of us. I read lips
Oh, okay.
and
I can
you,
go get my copy.
go ahead. Can we pass this to the board to take a real quick look? Oh, that's even better. Look at this. Oh, high tech.
I believe you guys have a.
This is when it was bought, the big unit, but that's fine.
Now, you bought the unit from them?
No, sir, the previous owner did a year and a half before.
From them?
From them, yes, sir.
Okay. Was there a permit pulled on this, staff, for this job?
I would have to check in our old system, but in the new system, there hasn't been a permit at this residence that I've seen, but I'll have to look into permits plus.
I think that's something we need to do so we don't step on ourselves.
Correct. And I didn't know that they were the ones that did the original until now, so I'll look on that.
Well, now, with them doing the original one, I would think that we'd want them to get this one running too.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't see, you all can read up there. I don't see any mention of any work on the unit. It looks like it is,
Ductwork only.
yeah, so it looks like it's ductwork only. So this particular contractor would not be responsible to making sure that your unit is operating correctly.
Now, this one here is for the unit. That looks like $3,900.
Previous owner.
Okay, and the work you had them do. And they put those in, what was the charge on that?
780.
Well, it doesn't seem crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, they could have a piece of paper in the blower.
That's
But
what
if they're
I,
not gonna get in there and figure it out,
Correct. And that was our stance, is that what the work that they did needs to be permitted and inspected, and then we can check that off the list as now it's something else with the system that maybe they did or didn't do, but with nothing being permitted or inspected, like
That-
David said, it could be a connection.
yeah, it could be as simple as a wire, simple
Installation
wire
instructions.
connection. Absolutely.
all right, staff can correct me on this, but the statute of repose does not begin in the state of Florida until a permit is pulled and is inspected. Is that not true? Statute, when the warranty begins. So for them saying that the unit was installed in 2019, good to know. If the permit was not pulled and not inspected, according to the state of Florida, the warranty has not started.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
there you go. So I would, in integrity, install the unit, did they not?
That's what her,
Okay, so,
and I think they're looking now to see if they can see a permit or not.
Yeah, that would be If they didn't pull a permit, then we're gonna be able to do what we want to do.
Yeah, we need to have a twofer. They need to come out, get our unit running correctly. Let's get this, because from the date of the installation of, excuse me, of the date of the inspection, make that word inspection, that 1 year, parts and labor all, would start to run. So they need to make her whole on the installation and the warranty thereof.
So in this case, because they'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll have to start a new case for the unit.
Unless
being
they decide to pony up real quick.
Yeah, because, yeah, so this case, they'll have to get the ductwork permitted and inspected. And then we'll have to start another case for the unit installation without a permit if that's what we find.
You might want to mention the mood of the board is such that if they make her whole and she is happy and all is working well, it would bode well for them the next time that you come before us.
Yes, sir.
David Anthony again, Chief Mechanical. May I suggest if they want to change out the equipment, I would probably go with another company.
Did you hear?
I think we're talking about some repairs here, because right now, the
2019, it's a
unit,
new unit.
it's only 3 years old. I mean,
Well, at the
Still-
time a year ago is only a year and a half.
yeah, but it still should be under its 10-year parts warranty.
Yeah, so
and
they
stuff
owe
like
somebody.
And I
that.
have
Oh, you're okay.
Do they do service on your unit?
Who's
This is
talking?
me, Brian Lyon.
previous owner, I do not know.
Oh,
Somebody
I'm
else.
sorry.
I was just asking if they do service on it as well.
Well, they have to if they're the installing contractor.
I'm talking general service.
Oh, yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
Like filter changes.
You're talking about.
Not
routinely.
for me, because like I said, I bought it, in December of 2020 and I had them come out July of 21 because of the stink. And it's been nothing since.
Ricky, when you've reached out to this guy, has he been there? I mean, have you been able to reach him, talk to him?
It's hit and miss, but yes, I have spoke with him numerous times. And text message, he answers better than a phone call. But a couple times, he sent us a letter, which you have in your packet, kind of letting us know what his feelings are on the thing. And then just like I said, in the last week or so, he's been trying to get this permit pulled, but, you know, I'm sure because he doesn't want to come in front of the board.
Well, there's a second $500 fine if he doesn't pull that other permit, and he could get everything done with a onesie. If he pulls one permit for an installation with duct change, that would take care of everything, the $500 from that, and then we would probably look favorably that once it's inspected and all is in correct order and compliant, that this case would be concluded. Otherwise, he can perhaps see us again.
Makes sense.
You let me add this. When the first guy came out, he slit.
Ma'am, what kind of a guy is it? Because we don't know a guy.
The gentleman that was supposed to run the ductwork,
Got it. One of
His
their
worker.
personnel.
the personnel, yes,
Got
sir.
it. Go.
He slid a piece of ductwork about 4 foot and wrapped my existing ducts and called it good.
You need an inspection.
And it wasn't until my brother helped me fence in underneath so another critter doesn't get under there, did he notice that they did a patch job with the silver tape stuff. And again, that's why from that point on, it's just not good, so.
Chief Mechanical Inspector is shaking his head. He loves this kind of thing when they just do this.
I think he thought I was gonna give up, but
Well,
I'm old, I've been through this again, you know, I'm just.
Done on this one?
Yeah, I think that when you reach him, you know, I mean, he doesn't, he's not a local guy being where he's from, but still, he's a state certified contractor from what I gather.
Correct.
And quite frankly, there's no state contractor that I've ever met that wants the DPR visiting their office, period, the end. I mean, you'll do anything. That's worse than a root canal.
Right.
So, you know, and this seems so simple to take care of that, you know, whenever I was listening to an inspector, yes, sir, I took care of it, done, over with, and we move on. Not that I talk to inspectors much, but.
And I just got word that there is no permit for the actual unit. So now we can start another case against him.
Absolutely. Now you've got the full ability to pull him in and make him do what he's supposed to do because he's violated his own state license now. And that means my phone call gets the DPR in your office to find out how many units you haven't pulled a permit for in the past 10 years, and you'll have to show them the records, you know.
Correct.
It's not going to be fun.
Haste is in order.
So he's gonna put me back the way I was, with a free on and all?
The warranty hasn't started yet.
Okay.
That's why I said that. Trying to help you out.
Now, that was a state law to take care of older people in the state. You don't look a day,
Well, I've been to the
you don't
attorney-
look a day over 39 years old. And, but I would assume you're retired.
Yes, sir.
And there are other laws in the state of Florida,
I went to my attorney general.
yeah, that talk to old people like me.
Yes, sir.
Not young people like you, about being taken advantage of.
Yes,
And, you know, you need your air conditioning.
absolutely.
All right, what's next?
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, board members.
do we have any off-agenda items?
Yes, there is the new code coming out 2023. There is one major change to the mechanical code, which I haven't even talked to my favorite chief mechanical inspector about yet, and that is on steel duct. Not factory fabricated. So if it's made in a factory, it's not included. Only in field installed metal duct will require wrap of R8, starting with the new code. So things that are permitted under the new code, the field connections of any, you know, metal only, not fiberglass. Fiberglass still R6. It's R8. And that had one dissenting vote, but it passed. And so that will likely be in the final form. So everybody needs to be on their toes about when they wrap it. Let's not have to wrap it twice.
That sounds lovely, but I won't have to worry about it. Okay, so we have a to be determined meeting date in the future. We'll do virtual, hybrid, Saunders Library. Looks like we're in some sort of trial here behind the shield, but it's all good. I guess we can adjourn the meeting. Did it go all right? Everybody happy? Any other questions?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second, we're adjourned.
We're done.